was on the minutes, you weren't here.
Go ahead.
Okay, good morning, Dudley. So we're missing Tom. He's at court, I guess. I wasn't here for the last meeting, so we have no quorum to vote on the minutes. So can you put that on for the next meeting?
Okay.
We have signed payroll and various vouchers. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, that's good.
Go right ahead. I probably had too much coffee this morning.
No, I probably did. I'm off and running. I make a motion to approve $9,953.53 in motor vehicle abatements, excise abatements for the months of February 2017.
Unanimous.
I make a motion to approve the levy of 2016 motor vehicle commitment number 6 in the amount of $29,234.31.
Unanimous.
Boy, that was good, huh?
Hey,
I do have
but
new
we got it.
business. I do
Huh?
have new business.
You do?
I have 3.
No monkey?
No. Exemption applications.
You have what?
I have 3 exemption applications.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Applicant A was getting the $400 veterans exemption. He's now 100% disabled, so you need to vote that he gets the $1,000 exemption because he's 100% disabled now.
Want to make an motion?
I make a motion we approve the 100% exemption for the applicant.
Unanimous?
Applicant B is a widow exemption. She meets all the requirements for $175.
Okay, I make a motion for applicant B, we approve the 175 for the exemption.
Unanimous?
And applicant C, same thing.
Okay, I make a motion for applicant C for the 175.
Unanimous.
That's it.
Well, I have a question again. This solar thing now is getting on my nerves because suddenly it came up as a discussion in one of the classes that I was at.
It did too.
And how are we transferring these on sales?
Well, that's the tricky part, because if you finance it, there's a UCC one recorded at the Registry of Deeds. That is the equivalent of a real estate mortgage, only it tells the public that there is a loan on personal property
Oh, so
that
it's personal.
clouds the title. So it has to be paid off because none of them are assumable.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, somebody was telling me that the appraiser, as long as the value appraises out, that it's not an issue. But
No, that's not true, because we don't appraise personal
Well,
property.
that's what I was going to ask
Yeah.
you. You don't put that
No.
into the consideration of the property.
They ask us if there's a stove, refrigerator, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, and so we check off, but personal property is not part of the appraisal of real estate.
I think this is going to come back and be a little bit of a haunt
Oh,
here.
it's gonna be like, you remember when they put sewers on Webster Lake?
Yeah.
And when you got a CML, it said sewer lien to be coming forth, and nobody knew what the dollar amount was?
Mhm.
Oh, man, that screwed up a lot of sales.
And for us as assessors, we still are not sure
But I haven't gone to court yet.
how we're looking at
But
this thing.
you've got a directive from the DOI that it's personal property, right?
For the first 20 years.
Yeah.
And at that point,
Oh.
the panels are obsolete.
Right, so that's what I keep falling back on. The
Oh,
Department of
okay.
Revenue says that they're personal property.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I,
that makes sense.
yeah, so I use that as my
Somebody
fallback.
told me that it was $50,000. You could have knocked me over.
I've had 2 separate proposals made to me, and they were in the high 30s, almost 40 grand. On the first proposal, 16 years, 3 months, and 2 weeks it took for me to pay back before I started getting any benefits.
Wow.
And that's without putting a new roof on. The second one, the payments were higher than my highest electric bill.
Well, this is what I have. I mean, my electric bill didn't change much because I started turning off lights that I left on all day long, and it didn't change. So I wouldn't even consider it.
Yeah, until the panels and the batteries become cheaper, it's just economically not feasible. I mean, I remember a few years back when Trump was talking about solar panels and talking, the return was, he had to go 40 years before he got a return on investment for his hotels.
I have to have you revote on these 2 widows. They're not widows, they're elderly exemptions.
So you lied to us?
You did lie.
My
Okay.
God. Such an
So-
honest looking face, too.
Let us redo our motion to B and C. Is that it, or A and
B and C
B and
from
C
widows
come
to
under
elderly.
widows, reclass from widows to elderly. The exemptions.
I'll second that motion.
So, not that I want to be negative to the public, they can do whatever they want. I was just curious We finally made a decision as assessors how we were looking
Yeah,
at,
the
because
Department of Revenue said it's personal property. It kind of goes, you remember when we went to real estate school 100 years ago? And they talked about TV antennas?
Yes.
It was the bracket that was part of real estate, and the actual antenna was personal property, because that was the law of affixation. Anyways, why would I remember that?
I don't
was
know,
just gonna say
I
that.
say it probably 3 times a week in class.
You do?
Yes,
Oh.
yeah. And you picked my example. Very good.
Did I tell you how I met Joanne and how she got into real estate? She was selling ads for the Nichols College Women something or other.
Yes.
Came into my little office, and I sold her on becoming a real estate agent.
And actually,
Oh my God.
actually, see, now this is appropriate because it was Women's Day. I said, you don't have any women working for you. You are an all-man office.
And her first sale, her first offer to purchase was written on July 7th, 1977. 7777.
Oh my God.
It's interesting.
And when she became the board president, she asked me to be the host, the
MC like the
MC,
ceremony.
yeah, master ceremony, thank you.
Yeah.
And so I found her first sale, had a bronze, did I have a
Yes.
bronze? Bronze.
I have a plaque of it.
And
Get out.
Oh,
That's
funny.
funny.
It is.
that had to be, well, you were president in the 90s or something?
Yeah, it would have been, 1991. I remember because it was the downturn of the real estate market. And it's when agency came into play. with
Oh,
the
yes,
agency.
yes.
So, small world.
So, yeah, I was the only one that could have done that.
That is true.
I had all my records from 1972 until the damn fire at 27 East Main Street.
Well, I'm probably driving all the assessors crazy. I met the Southbridge assessor the other day.
You were just a short putt.
Because when people are taking the real estate class, Lisa knows, I send them out to actually come in and get the card, the field card, and I say, you know who the smartest people are in the building? It is the assessors, for you as a real estate person. I said, and they take all of the classes that appraisers take. You only take one class in your whole thing on appraising, so they know the data. Well, I'm pointing it out because a person had difficulty with a sale, and I sent them to the assessors, and I said, they have every sale that occurs in the town, not just like we have in real estate for multiple listing. And she was able to find one more sale that helped on the appraisal that brought the value up, and it was in Southbridge, and the Southbridge assessor was nice enough to help her and assist her doing some of the
Will's a
research.
good guy.
Yeah, he
Good guy.
is.
So,
He really is.
I-
Did you see where Webster's got their field cards online now?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do?
They do.
Oh, okay.
That just happened
Up
last
to the level.
month.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, field cards online. Amazing.
So I think the townspeople should appreciate our assessors. That is the point of my story, because they work very hard, they are very knowledgeable, and they deal a lot with the public. Even though we have put a lot of things online.
Well, I was
they
going to say,
still
thank
there.
God we have things online, because with 1.5 people, it's a
Yeah.
real problem.
We have 2 full people
Oh, that's
now.
right, we do.
Do we have anything else?
Oh, did you vote on the next meeting?
Oh,
Oh, it's
April 14th?
That's fine with me.
Sure.
I'll
Okay.
check with Tom.
Well, as long as we got 2 Acosors, we're all set.
Great.
Well, if we have nothing else, then I'm
I
going to make
gotta
a
run.
motion, we adjourn.
Second, unanimous. Au revoir.
Guess I have to bring my dog for a haircut and put